In our earlier video, we saw how workers organized themselves to fight against the repression they faced in Qatar. This video will look at earlier sporting events, some controversies around them, and how they raise certain important questions. When a sporting event like the FIFA World Cup or the Olympics is organized, it gives rise to turbo capitalism. The stated goal while holding these events is rapid development. Governments present a rosy picture of growth to citizens. While locals are sold a dream of glory and gains, the reality is far from it. Construction of stadiums takes space from citizens and hands it to big corporates for profit making. FIFA turns venues, fan zones, and media centers into tax havens. While taxpayers' money aids the construction, they often get nothing in return. While big businesses earn a tidy profit, often through speculation, citizens are left to their own devices. There are several examples of this. In Beijing, during the 2008 Summer Olympics, 1.5 million people were evicted. That's 1 in 10 citizens. In Brazil, the host of the 2014 FIFA World Cup and the 2016 Summer Olympics, certain areas were socially cleansed by the government so future events could be held without hassle.
We still live with the consequences of forced evictions. In Rio, we had about 80,000 people that suffered with forced evictions, families that were transferred for 40 kilometers or 50 kilometers distance from their houses, and they still suffer with lack of infrastructure and public transport to get to their works.
The 2010 Commonwealth Games in India saw 18 deaths during eviction drives of informal settlements. The victims' families received no compensation. South Africa, the host of the 2010 FIFA World Cup, faced losses to the tune of $6.6 billion and many were displaced. In the West, the impact is more subtle but enduring. The construction of stadiums means higher real estate land prices. As a result, people are forced to move away. The construction of the world's largest stadium in California saw widespread protests. It cost $5 billion and caused a rapid price rise, driving out locals, primarily Black, Hispanic, and Latino communities. London, which hosted the 2020 Euro final, also saw a rise in prices due to construction. The cost of real estate in areas near the new stadiums and even in the neighborhood rose by an overall whopping 2 billion Great Britain pounds. Host countries use events as an excuse to intensify repression. This was true of Russia, which hosted the 2014 Winter Olympics. In the lead up to the event, attacks increased on civil society and democracy. Russia detained 2 Norwegian TV journalists and arrested 33 peaceful protesters. Many economists argue that the Athens 2004 Summer Olympics marked Greece's debt crisis spiraling out of control. Apart from the many rights violations, there's also the issue of environmental erosion that takes place during these events. Manaus in Brazil saw the construction of a stadium in the middle of the Amazonian jungles. It is up to the fans of sporting events to demand action, justice, and ensure this never happens again during any sporting event.
I think that if I was going to advise anybody as to what they can do, I would suggest that people keep asking questions. It's probably too late now to make meaningful change as an individual, but if you continue to ask questions, if you continue to hold your own governments to account, your own football associations to account, and support the sort of activism that is going on, that is probably the best that can be done.